We are back. This is the Daytime Emmys post-show recap from JLJ Media. Hi, I'm one of your hosts, James Lott Jr., and my favorite crew is back with me to talk about what happened was last night on the Emmys. To my left, I guess, or my right, however you look at the screen, my friend Walker Ragsdale. Hi, Walker.
Afternoon, wherever. I guess it'd be afternoon.
Sure, what's we got? And down below, my buddy, Gerry Waggett. Hi, Gerry.
Hey, James. How you doing?
Good, good. And in the corner, because you can't put baby in a corner, but she's in the corner today. Lacretia Lyon. Lacretia Lyon.
Yeah, I love the Swayze reference.
I knew you would. I knew you would.
Yeah.
All right. So we're all here again to talk about what happened last night on the Daytime Emmys. Now, we're going to talk about every single thing that went down. But we're going to talk about our thoughts about it. I'm going to read in order who of us won the predictions. We're going to talk about each winner and talk about each category that we proposed and go from there. But I want to first start with saying, how did I feel about the Emmy program overall? I will start with Gerry. Tell me what you thought overall.
I'll tell you honestly, if I'd known that it wasn't really going to be live, though it was virtual, I would have just taped it and fast forwarded to the commercials and stuff. And it felt very odd when you had the people, when you realized after a certain point that it was all pre-taped. And when people, and they come back to a view host, they said, congratulations, but didn't say the winner's name. I said, this is all pre-taped. It felt a little distanced. I mean, more than socially distanced.
Okay. Lacretia, what do you think?
Honestly, given what they had, I actually thought they did a pretty good job. I was kind of impressed with some of it. I mean, like you say, the not being live was a bit frustrating, I guess, because especially if you've been there, you kind of know how it is. But with what they had, I think they did pretty good.
Walker, what do you think?
I was bored. I thought it was very boring. Okay. But I was told earlier in the week that all the nominees had to submit videos. So I knew that it was going to be like a pre-tape. But I was just curious how they were going to do it. It was well done. It was just boring.
Oh, Walker, can I ask you, does this mean that, like, if you were nominated, like you had submitted I'm so happy I won award, even if you didn't win?
Every nominee had to submit a video, and then they wouldn't have found out until they found out who video was played last night.
Wow, that's kind of that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Walker has his sources. But no, for me, I kind of agree with all three of you. I thought it was well done production-wise. It was way better than I thought it was going to be. Because it wasn't live. I think they were like, screw this noise, trying to worry about people's Wi-Fi's and fucking all this stuff. They were like, no. Yeah. So in a way, I was impressed how they kind of set it up. It did miss, like Gerry and as Walker said, it missed the spontaneity of stuff. There was no excitement. It was just kind of like, now this category, that category. It was very clinical, so to speak. It was kind of like this, here we go. But I liked it. I thought for what they had to work with, it was well done. And I was actually very impressed. I was very impressed. But yeah, it could have been lots better. I do miss some of the spontaneous moments and things like that. But it was for what they had to work with. I will give CBS credit. I mean, at least it wasn't some janky production. To me, this production was better than half the 10 years you've had online productions that were horrible hosts. And this was actually decent. I'll take this. And Walker, you said the ratings are out. So how they do?
So they did. They had 3.1 million total viewers last night. They were saying that the last one that was aired was on Pop, and that only got 900,000.
Wow.
Last time CBS hosted the Emmys was 2011, and it was like 5.2. But for 9 years, that's not too bad of a from 5 points, because some Oscars have lost like that many billion year to year. So yeah, not terrible.
I wonder. I wonder.
Maybe CBS might be interested in coming back next year.
I hope so. Actually, I hope so. Why not? I think also part of it is everybody's home. Everybody was curious.
Yeah.
Like a lot of us were curious for home. We're like, how are they gonna do this? I think we all kind of tuned in for that fact. Don't you think so, Gerry? Kind of people kind of tuned in because they're like, let's see how this is gonna look like.
Oh yeah, this also to be. I thought it was going to be that you'd see all 5 nominees at home waiting, and then they announced the winner. See, I thought it was going to be done virtual live, and that we'd see like 5 people. Let's face it, this is sad to just be proud of us. That's kind of like disappointing faces. When the name is announced of who won, and you see the other 5 people who didn't win, or 4 people win.
Yeah, we didn't have any of that. Yeah, we didn't have any of that.
Yeah, no Faith Hill moments.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly. No, don't have any of that stuff. No, we didn't have any of that. Well, before we go into the kind of categories, some of the moments last night, we do have a winner for all the predictions. And this person, wins. And so, okay, there were a couple of shutouts that we all just didn't get. Supporting actress and lead actress. None of us won anything in those. And we'll talk about that section, those sections, because I'm like, I got some talk on that one. But Gerry, Lacretia, and I have 3 wins. Walker has 5. So Walker is the winner. So Walker beat us by 2. He got it. So,
although I feel like I almost would have gotten to the supporting if I hadn't switched. I did say that Tamara had the most.
You did.
Had the most friends that were still working in daytime. So
those are the exact words you said. You're right. Those are the exact words you said. That's so funny. Yeah. So you still would have won. You would have got 6. But that's still. Well, we'll get to that in a second. Which we're about to get to that in a second. How do we think the host did? I mean, it was generic, kind of. They all look pretty, I think, and they were kind of the thing. But how do we think the host did? They kind of moved it along. You think? It's fine.
Yeah, my biggest problem is we had the host, and there was no interaction because the way it was filmed. There was no interaction in any of that, and that bothered me because you have all 5 women from the host, and the show is based upon their interaction, and there's no interaction.
Yeah. Walker, what are you gonna say?
I think for what it was, they did a good job. It feels like it's almost like everyone's part was like filmed separate. Like I think, like I don't know about the host, but I feel like the hosts were like, okay, so these are the ones you're gonna do, just tape, and they just pretty much edited everything together. That's why I didn't feel like there was any interaction because even their stuff was like just tape before.
So, Lacretia, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree that everybody did a good job considering what it was, but maybe just do like at least a few bits of them zooming in the night of, or what made it seem like it was the night of, not pre-tape, and some actual interaction might have made it better. But yeah, everybody looked great.
They look good.
Oh yeah, they looked awesome at home, and their homes are gorgeous.
Oh yeah. They all got money. Of course, they look good. It should look, the house should look good. You should be able to find a good room to film in. You got a little moolah. Should be able to do that. So we're gonna start the first award of the evening. They did the supporting character actress first. They always do anyway first. And the supporting actress, and of course, supporting actress. The nominees were. Make sure I get this out. So we had Tamara Braun, General Hospital, Rekha Budig, General Hospital, Annika Noel, Bold and the Beautiful, Christy Kaleo, Young and Restless, and Susan Seaforth Hayes for Days of Our Lives. And the winner was Tamara Braun for her work on General Hospital's Kim Nero. And none of us got that correct. So that was something we all got shut out. And I am curious. I liked your speech. It was to the point, kind of just nice and being nice. You mentioned Black Lives Matter and stuff, that kind of thing. And I was like, okay, that's cute. But it's her 3rd Emmy, isn't it? Or their 3rd Emmy?
I think it's her second. It's second. Maybe nominated. It's her third. I think 3rd role that she's been nominated for.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, that's what it is. I think. Okay, so she won. It was we put down 3 of us did Susan, and Lacretia said Crystal.
Yeah.
Crystal, thank you.
But Tamara would have been my second choice. Like, and that's what I said. I would have not been surprised that she won. So yeah, to see her win, I'm like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised by my logic of she has friends, like she had more friends than everyone else.
Yeah, I wanted Annika to win, so I felt she was robbed. That's just my opinion. I loved Annika. Sorry, thought she was great. I thought she was great in those scenes. I know you feel differently. I thought she was great in those scenes. I thought she should have won.
In those scenes, I'm glad she has some scenes.
And that's what counts in the Emmys is those scenes.
You know, that's all that counts. All you need is 2 good scenes.
That's it. Oh, I love it. As I drink my Forrester Creations tea, excuse me. But yes. And then, so she won that one. And then for a supporting actor, which myself and Walker picked Bryton James. He won, of course. And then, the nominees were those other people, but maybe other nominees. But he won. So is anybody surprised that he got it?
No, I wasn't.
No. Especially, I think they were trying to find some way to honor Christoph St. John. And especially once Priscilla Cleo didn't win, I think they gave her award before this. I said, oh, I think they did a very good job with it. I can tell you that both of them, you see the funeral there, did an excellent job with them. And what actually,
Go ahead. So you're saying, look, technical. We're on home, everybody, on Zoom. Technical difficulties. I love it. Okay, go ahead, Gerry. You're saying.
Okay, when I saw actually, my choice was James Patrick Stewart, whom I thought was great. When I saw the scene that they showed of him, the argument with Laura, I thought it was a really good scene of his. But when I saw what the other people had submitted, his just kind of like lacked the gravitas of the other scenes. I said, oh yeah, he's not going to win.
Yeah.
I agree. Those scenes weren't the best. But to me, he's great. And I think if next year he submits the scenes with Laura about Charlotte or the scenes with Helena in his mind, those would definitely get him next year.
Those are good. So Bryton James, he got it. So good for him. I saw. I guess they posted a thing where he actually really reacted. And it was kind of fun to see him actually.
When he actually won.
Yeah,
it was cute.
It was cute. So he decided to do this 15 memorable moments of the Emmys. I thought, okay, that's fine. Not all the moments were whatever, but I'll mention a few of the moments that I kind of liked as we go through this. Then he went on to give outstanding game show and outstanding game show host went to Jeopardy and Alex Trebek. I thought it was very cool.
For me, that was okay. Normally, I watch the show for the soap operas, but last night went in there. Alex, Jeopardy, that was really rooting for more than anything else.
Go ahead, Fire engine.
Oh yeah.
Life, fellas, is life. I love it.
Life.
I went for fireworks to go on too. We're saving lives. I've been in a fire. Trust me. Go get that people. Go get them. Trust me. You'll save some lives. Okay, Gerry, go ahead. You got the floor.
Normally, I tune into the Daytime Emmys, and of course, my main focus is on the soap operas. But last night, I got to tell you, honestly, I was just went in there and said, you know what? As long as Alex Trebek walks away with best game show host, I'll be happy. And he did. And not only that, Jeopardy won, but they also, I think, they did a lot of those theme type shows that help win. They also showed, clips of like their special episodes. So I was really happy he got it. And then I loved his comment. He said, you know what? I always heard that being nominated was an honor and itself. But after like 7 wins, 32 nominations, I gotta tell you, winning's better. And I just love that.
I did love it too. I was nominated 32 times. He's crackers. I mean, that's good. Yeah, it was nice to see him, of course, and I'm always worried about him. I'm like, oh, when are we gonna see him again? He's tough. He's a tough one. That was kind of nice. The View won informative talk show. So I'm like, okay, whatever. They won that. I watched that show just because it's crazy. It's a shit show. That's why I watch it.
It's literally a shit show.
Literally, it is. I just watch to see Meghan McCain like lose her shit. So that's why I watch the show. And we roll her eyes after. And Sunny drank her tea all the time. Sunny's always drinking her tea when they go off. They're like, well, that's why Sunny. Work those chickens back at home and drink that tea. Then we got into Outstanding Young Performer, which I think Eden was robbed, of course, but I said I had no problem with Olivia Rose winning, and she won.
Yeah, she's good.
She's good. She won. So how do you guys feel about that we talked about it last time, but how do you guys feel about that? Because Walker picked Olivia. We all picked Eden.
I loved her acceptance speech because that's where it's like where pre-tape came in because she was creative. They had their signs. It was good. I liked it. I thought it was cute.
I did too.
Yeah,
and it actually made me like her, the person, more, seeing her interaction with the family and how much the family was involved. So I really enjoyed that.
Sorry, Lacretia, real quick. A little behind the scenes. I had Eden on my show at AfterBuzz 3 years ago, and Olivia was coming in for Audition Days. So they got to meet. It's just kind of fun. Get to meet her. And we all had a great love fest. We're all like loving it, and all these blondes running around. We had a good time. And so I just kind of just a little side note. It's kind of fun that I was like, oh, well, I like both of the girls. I like both of them. So I'm like, for me.
Yeah, I know both as well. They're both sweet girls. And yeah, if it couldn't have been Eden, Olivia was a good choice. Like, yeah. It was a tough category.
Yeah, no, it was. Gerry, what do you think?
It's not. I mean, she didn't win. I still was like, I wanted Garrett Stitt to be in there for playing Oscar because so many of the stuff that worked on General Hospital well revolved around him.
Yeah.
And his death scene stuff, and as a dying kid, he got like, I think he deserved at least one of the nominations. I'm not going to say exactly whose, but yeah.
You could say, let's see, who are the nominees? No, I won't do that.
Well, maybe somebody whose name rhymes. Let's just say a nominee whose names rhyme.
He got the nomination he deserved.
Oh. That is as cold as Oscars now.
That's Oscars. I love it. Oh, I do. I love it. Oh, my goodness. I love it. Mm-hmm. Then we go on to Outstanding Entertainment Show was Ellen. Okay, whatever. That's fine. And I get to see my Eric Braeden. I love my Eric Braeden, my buddy Eric Braeden. They talk about Aretha Franklin. That was the best moment.
That was probably my favorite part of the night.
That was very good because Aretha loved her, so she loved it. And he tells us, so I went to Eric Braeden's 40th anniversary celebration at the Y&R. He invited me. And he tells the story of how everyone loves Peter Bergman. So he goes, and back then they were kind of fighting back then. So Aretha said the whole thing. She goes, and he said behind the scenes, they met afterwards at the Emmys. He hugs her. They're like talking to him. He goes, I just want to tell you, I love me some Peter Bergman. And it says he started busting out laughing. That was the funniest thing she said that she's hugging him because she said she loved Victor, but she's like, I just love me some Peter Bergman. Jack. Funniest story. I just all fell out, and it was kind of fun. Like that's Eric actually has a sense of humor. I've talked to him 5 or 6 times over the last couple of years. He's actually a really funny guy. So I thought that was a great night, and I love they showed something that this big star did like the soaps. So people know everybody likes soaps. It's not just this little thing that little people, housewives like, but that celebrities also watch soaps, and Rita was one of the biggest celebrities you can get out there. So, and I like that little moment. Outstanding Morning Show was Today Show. And then here's my favorite. I have to mention this. This is my favorite moments of the evening. For Outstanding Legal Courtroom Show, I actually had some friends nominated, but they didn't win. But my girl, Judge Marilyn Milian, accepted for People's Court. I love me, Judge. I got to meet her 2 years ago at the Emmys, and I love her more than life itself. I just do. I just love her. She's the sweetest person. She's beautiful. She's Cubana. I love her, and I was happy to see her accept the award for People's Court. So. I don't watch other legal shows. I don't watch Judge G and all this stuff, but I do watch People's Court. Then he did a little segment. I'm actually curious, the 3 of you, what you feel about this. They did a little segment about Black Lives Matter, equality. There's a little gay flash or something in there. A lot of the black stars, like from Entertainment Tonight stuff, we're talking. How do you feel about how that was done? And was that good, not good, good enough? What do you guys think?
Didn't see it. I think it had put me to sleep by then, so I turned that shit off. So I didn't see that.
Well, thank you, black person on the panel. So let's go down to Lacretia now. Like he's like, you didn't watch that? You didn't watch that one?
Yeah. I thought it was nice. Like they did a few little things, like the little, you know, aside for Kristoff, and I liked the little things like that because it was like, okay, good. We can't really have these big numbers or things. What are we gonna do? Because you don't want to just go award. So
This part. Yeah. Gerry, what do you think?
One of the things that I loved best was when James Reynolds introduced Al Freeman Jr. getting his award. Because this was days when like the awards were being given while I was in school. I didn't see it. I actually had the occasion to interview Al Freeman Jr. about when he was teaching college at was it Brown University or Howard University, and I talked to him. That was such a great interview with him. Always been a fan of his work, both on One Life to Live and when he had that short-lived summer series Hot L Baltimore, and always loved his performance. And to actually see him up there and win, and also, it's, oh yeah, I finally get this, and they tell me, speed it up. I want to say, no. You talk, you know.
Talk as long as you want to. You're the first black person. Come on. Talk as long as you want.
I hate when they actually try and spot his moments. That really irritates me.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. No, I like. We'll lead right into that because I did like that moment too, that memorable moment, because it was very important to show that. I mean, Al Freeman Jr. was a star. Him and Ellen Holly were stars on that show, the two black stars on One Life to Live, and carried major storyline for years, especially her not being a white woman, actually being a black woman. They did a lot of stuff that was very groundbreaking on there back then. And Al Freeman Jr. was the first one, and I remember when James Reynolds won, he mentioned Al Freeman Jr., A. Martinez, and Darnell Williams. I love that in his speech that he did that, because it is ridiculous. In 47 years, only 4 people of color, men, have won lead actor. It's kind of ridiculous on some level. So it's kind of like, I'm glad they went back to that. It was so weird seeing him come down like bleachers or something. Like, what were they doing back then? It was some like stadium or something. They had to come down from the stadium. I was like, very interesting, 1979. And those bell bottoms are working. Love those bell bottoms. I was all for it. I thought it was very cool. So actually, what do you think about that, Walker, about the Al Freeman Jr. kind of James Reynolds connection?
I like that. I'm more curious to see what the shows do post, coming back. How, if all this diversity talk will actually be shown on screen. Does that mean you're going to get new characters? Does that mean the ones that are already there that will get more storyline? So I'm just kind of, I love the moment, but I'm tired of sweet moments. I need more action.
Okay, I agree with that. I'm very curious. I'm very curious about that.
Yeah, people forget how much the Agnes Nixon soaps were woke before that was even a term. And I think that's what we've been missing, is a lot of what she had brought to the table in that legacy. But hopefully that kind of bleeds more into places like General Hospital and Y&R, who have the ability to do it with characters they already have.
And God, if Bold and Beautiful could actually keep some black folks on there and give them storyline for longer than maybe a year, I'll be so happy. Because they always have black folks on Bold and Beautiful, but they just seem like they don't know what to do with them after a while. They have like talented black folks on there. Like, come on, let's ramp up their stories. I hope they do that on that. And then Days of Our Lives, they actually have the first African American wedding on daytime television this week. So, with Eli,
that's their first one. That's insane.
Their first one. That's insane. Abe and Lexi did not have a wedding on screen. Crazy. Nobody. That's the first. There's no other black people have ever had a wedding on Days of Our Lives, ever.
They're going to have that. They're going to become married again. They're going to let her sing this time. Sing again.
Well, I know they started on Friday, and they'll be back, and then again continues Monday. Like that.
Yeah, I think it's all week.
It's all week. It should be interesting. So finally. Then we had Patricia Darbo, my girl, come out. She had told me she was filming something, but it was the memoriam segment. So that's kind of, and those are always just, there's nothing really to critique on that. It's like they show people who were gone. And she is the governor of the Television Academy, which I knew that, of course. It's kind of fun. And then outstanding talk show host went to Kelly Clarkson.
Oh,
And, you know, I like her. I like her. And her show, it's cute. The show is cute and it's different.
Yeah, I've even watched the show a little bit, and I'm impressed with her. She's very likable, and she brings something different that we hadn't been seeing in a lot of talk show hosts. A little bit more warm, a little less polished in a good way.
I agree.
And I also like the kind of when the talk show host actually begins, the song kind of reminds you of the old Mike Douglas, Merv Griffin, Dinah Shore days.
Yes.
As opposed to them having to come out and do a comedy monologue about what's happening in the world.
Well, you know, it's right. Because she's doing what her strength is singing. She has a great voice, I mean, obviously. So I love that she interprets other songs and starts her show. I thought that's very different. I really do like that. But you're right. It harkens back to the old days that probably you and I remember. These others you don't know any of that stuff. You and I remember those old days, unfortunately. So yes, it does harken to those times. I do like that very much. But I'm glad she won. She's cute. So I think it's really cute. Well, digital drama series. Because they announced that they're going to not tell anybody the winners for digital stuff until July 19th. Sunday, July 19th. You go to the Emmys.com for details. But they decided to add the digital drama series thing on the telecast. I was like, okay. And it went to Bay the series. Now, I'm friends with Gregory and them, so of course they have a lot of Emmys. I was kind of hoping, of course, Steel City would get it or something like that, or somebody else would get it. But congratulations to them. I texted Gregory and congratulations to them. They do put together a show. They put together a good show every year. But how do you guys feel about that?
Tired. That's what I feel about it.
I've actually never seen the series. I feel bad. It's on Amazon Prime now, so I check it out.
Yeah, it's been on for a long time. I know all the folks that work there. So.
A long time. And it's time for some new. Let somebody else get some new blood in there. They should be like Ellen and Oprah. Okay, you take your name out of consideration when you put a half-ass show out, but you get a lot of stars because you know a lot of people. So that's why people vote, because everybody's on it. I don't mean the writing's good.
I love it. So, well, check out the base sometime yourself, Gerry, so you can kind of see what you may think about that. Then we had outstanding writing, and that one, which one did we do? Let's see. So, outstanding writing is the one category we all got it correct. Bold and Beautiful.
Yes.
All four of us, we knew it for all our reasons. Not shocked. I had a feeling it was great. It was some good for that storyline. It was good writing. I mean, it was really good. Yeah. We all agreed on that. It was just really good writing. So I did it. Mm-hmm. Okay. Then they showed.
My memory.
Go ahead.
In my memory, I thought I picked Days, but maybe I did change it to Bold and Beautiful at the last second, because thinking, the babies for storylines, when they're not prolonged too long, are pretty powerful. And the stuff that they showed was actually very good. Yeah.
You picked it for the right reason. I mean, Days probably would have. I was thinking your Days at General Hospital probably would have second, just because that whole Christmas episode thing. But I was like, but we were right. When it comes to actual writing, that was what they submitted. That was the one. That's the one. They showed one of my favorite moments of all time, because I watched it live and I couldn't believe it. Susan Lucci's win. Every time Shamar Moore says the streak is over, I get chills. Susie says that. I do
too.
I do.
Seriously, even like last time it happened, I got that kind of like goosebumps up to my shoulders. And like in 1999, I'm like, it was just so amazing.
It was 19 times.
Yeah, I love that. It was just a few years before when Jimmy Kimmel won for Weinstein's Money that they won. And he's like, I just can't accept this with Susan Lucci sitting here without an Emmy. And then a couple of years later, she won. So yeah, that was it. That's always a fun clip, because it's Shamar giving it. You really like it. Yeah.
Well, Shamar solidified his place when he said the streak is over. They'll always show that part. So Shamar's smart. They'll always show that part, his face saying that, because it's part of the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. What pisses me off, can I say that on the show? What pisses me off is when they start to play the music, to kind of like speed her up. I'm like, no, I'm sorry. this is a huge historical moment. Just let her have her moment, okay? And yeah, let her go on a little bit longer. She's been waiting 19 years for this. I was so ticked off that they did that to her. No, and try to rush her along. When I think we had a bunch of like ridiculous numbers and useless filler stuff leading up to that moment.
Yes, we did. The thing was,
I think no. Go ahead.
No, please go ahead.
No, I felt the same way at the moment, but now I kind of like that they tried, because it's, if you watch the whole clip, you see the audience like reacting. You know, you get the cut of Kelly Ripa's like, no, continue. Everyone's like, booing, no, keep going.
I love it.
So for that moment, I kind of liked that they did that.
Yeah, that clip is out there for us. You can go on YouTube. It's a trip to watch. And the thing is, she got like a 2-minute standing ovation first, so she couldn't even speak. I mean, it was like people were, because I remember, it was so shocked. I was so shocked. Like, I remember seeing her, like my brother and I were watching, and we're like, did they say Susan Lucci? Like, so I mean, because she kept losing that was her whole thing. And we kept thinking it was cruel. She kept getting nominated. Like, after I was like, okay, come on, folks. After a while, just either give it to her or just don't give it to her. Don't nominate her anymore. But I remember it was truly, I think I got teary-eyed when she won. And my 3 favorite things she says in that whole speech, one is, I was supposed to be on every other Tuesday. I love that line. That she was also considered an ethnic type, which people forget. She was dark-haired and Italian. There's a whole different thing. And I love her opening thing. I truly never believed that this would happen. I laugh every time she says that, because I'm thinking she probably never thought it was going to happen. Like, it was never going to happen. Great moment. It's my most favorite moment. It's my favorite moment.
That actual whole award show is on YouTube, and the whole show was actually good. Yeah. I rewatched it maybe a couple months ago, and it was just like, man, 1999 was like a great year for soaps.
I have to watch it again. I have to watch the whole thing again.
Yeah.
Jerry, what are you going to say, Jerry?
Well, actually, 2 things about that show. I love when, like, Eric Braeden comes out with Melody Thomas presenting, they were doing Bachelor or something. And do you remember his comment to congratulate her? My hat goes out to you, Susan Lucci. I'm like, okay, not the right phrasing, but yes. And then I think her winning that get her the lead in replacing Bernadette Peters and then get on Broadway for it. That's the January Vacation. And that's where they actually got to see her perform on Broadway.
Oh, that's when she's on Broadway. That's right. She was on Broadway. Oh, Susan worked it out.
Yeah, that was a perfect year. She won the Emmy in 99 and like the end of 99 into early 2000, which was, I think, also the 30th year anniversary of All My Children. And she's there on Broadway starring in You Get Your Gun. Mm-hmm. So that was great. That was actually like the peak year for her.
Yeah, she was bringing it out. I remember her movie, was it Ebenezer, or whatever she said that she did like the female version of Scrooge. I mean, Homegirl.
Yeah.
Homegirl's like, and she's one of those people, if you don't even know soaps, you've heard the name Susan Lucci or you've heard the name Erica Kane. Like, you've heard it. It's almost like J.R. Ewing. It's almost like, I mean, certain people you just even if you don't watch the show, you know who they are. And she really did represent the daytime community. I mean, in some forms. You know, so that was good. Okay, got to lead actor, and Walker and Gerry picked it. It went to Jason Thompson, which all of us kind of said we would not be mad at that either. So he won. I was like, I was very impressed.
Yes.
Good family. So how do you feel about that?
Well, the trivia process, I love it because it becomes historic, because Billy Abbott now becomes the first soap opera character that's won Emmy Awards for 3 different actors.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's right.
David Tom, Billy Miller, and now Jason Thompson. And in the old Jason Thompson, thank you. And the old idea of, if you can't beat him, join him. I mean, I think that Jason Thompson was nominated at least once, twice by Patrick Drake, Billy Miller as Billy Abbott. Yeah. And he lost to him. So I said, okay, well, he just took over the role, and then he won.
He won. I think a couple times he should have won for Patrick Drake. That's another story. He did some good work on General Hospital. I mean, he really did some really good work on there. He was a great new character. When he came on, I thought he's a little brash, a little this, a little arrogant. He had heart. I mean, all that Robin stuff. And everything. Even when they hooked up with, even when they hooked up with Sam, that whole situation, he made the most of it. Like he made the most.
I actually liked it with Sam. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm just like he's long overdue because, like we say, he did such great work on General Hospital, and his work as Billy is amazing. I mean, all these actors that have played Billy in one were great, so it was a hard shoe to fill, but I was glad, and he finally gets the screen time and kind of respect he deserves over there. I think a little bit more, which is sad because I mean Patrick was a great character, but they just obviously didn't do everything with him they could have.
No, I agree with that.
Well, I think he was kind of a little bit hamstrung because his storyline was so tied to Kimberly McCullough, who wouldn't make a commitment to being there full time. She would come in for maybe two months or so, or 6 weeks, and be gone. And it was hard, to build his character tied to her. She wasn't going to be there all the time.
Yeah, well, she's always directing, and she got the whole no life. Homegirl, where he's directing, having babies, all that kind of stuff. She's doing stuff. So what do you think? What do you think, Walker, about his long overdue win?
I'm very happy. I'm just disappointed that there was no CBS party last night that I could have went to and celebrated with them.
I know.
But that's my friend. And
I miss the Emmys. I miss that we're not going to be there. We've all been there together. We've all things. I mean, I miss that we couldn't have that moment that yesterday. That's when I was watching, going, oh, I miss being tired, being on the red carpet all day, and then seeing the stars afterward. I miss all being behind the scene backstage. I miss all of that. I miss seeing our friends.
When they're coming through.
Yeah, exactly.
And chatting, and yeah.
I did miss that part.
Yeah, see, for me, it was the thing is the idea of being virtual, I had my excuse for not being invited to any of the parties.
I like that, Gerry. I like that. Then we had, so for lead, so it was interesting. I want to mention a little moment. So Maurice Bernard and Jacqueline McInnes Wood were together going on an award. I thought, how did that happen? And I guess they both are not okay. I guess they're both okay health-wise. It's just that should just surprise me.
I'm not gonna
maybe they did that. Yeah.
I'll let them tell it. If they tell it, then I'll tell it.
Okay. I don't know anything, but just where I was just for me visually going, oh, these two are together. Like, oh, okay, sit next to each other, not it was like, oh, okay. But that was very interesting.
And not socially distanced at all.
No.
I thought that maybe it was a case of like, are they neighbors or something?
I think
it was digital. I don't think they were really in the same room. It kind of looked a little fake set, and so I was like, wouldn't surprise me if they didn't just do that digitally.
Oh, like when they have the twins in the same room. Oh, okay, maybe. Okay, I guess we'll find. Maybe they'll say something like Walker said. Maybe they'll say something. I don't know anything, so I'm just like, I just was shocked that they're like, oh, they're together. They said they both were going to premiere. I thought they would be like two different boxes or something, and I was like, oh, they're in the same room together. So I was like, okay. I go on Maurice with that gray. He had a little gray going on. Yeah. So I was like, oh, I kind of liked it. I was like, okay, Maurice, work it out. Mm-hmm. And then the award that shocked, I'm going to excuse my language, for all you children, close your ears, shocked the shit out of me. Lead actress. I mean, they're all good. I want to preface it saying all the actors are good. Obviously, they're all good. But we all got that one wrong. We all know. I mean, none of us got it right on that one. There's another shutout. It went to Heather Tom. Is this like her 7th Emmy at this point or something like that at this point?
Yeah, I think she ties Erica Slezak now.
Yeah.
I think the actress that Erica Slezak have all been lead actress. She's 2 of her has been younger and supporting.
Yeah, so younger.
She's 4 she's a 4 Daytime Emmys, and she's well on her way to like breaking Erica Slezak record,
Yeah, I thought so. But how do we? I mean, I think some folks are robbed. I mean, she's good. I love Heather, but she's good. I think some folks are robbed. I was an Ariana or Mora person. I just thought, I don't know.
Yeah.
I said Heather at first, and then I didn't think they were going to give it. I didn't think they were going to give it back to back to 2 B&B people.
You did say Heather first. You did.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Then I was like, well, maybe they're not gonna give it back to 2B&B. But then because I first saw Heather, it was the scene with her and Flo when she's confronting Flo. I was like, okay, that was good. But again, we didn't know what the second scene was. The second scene was her saying goodbye to Will when she thought she was dying. I was like, oh, no one else could have. That was it. No one else. We could have wanted Jesus to win. But those, I was like, okay, never, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it's for people who do these prediction shows, not knowing what everyone did. It's like it's hard to truly like, because I feel like if we all had seen all this, we all would have voted different. Like for probably in a lot of these categories.
True. I agree with you on that. And we had this talk in the last show.
Yeah, it's also. Oh, I was going to say it's like not only seeing the scenes, but sometimes if you knew who the people voting were, because what since Walker you brought up was the fact that Tamara Braun had a lot of friends in the industry.
Yeah,
you saw that with I think with Heather Tom. I mean, I think sometimes people who aren't really familiar with Daytime remember that, oh, she's won like 3 years before, so it almost becomes the check this box. We know she's good,
But she is good.
Even without really paying attention.
Yeah, that's the thing. Most people who are voting aren't particularly in Daytime. It's anyone who's a part of the TV Academy.
Yeah.
So I have friends who do nothing anywhere near Daytime that were judging categories for this. So that's
Yeah. No, you're right. That's awesome. You're right. So, but congratulations. I love Heather. Great person. Congratulations to her.
Yeah, I'm happy for her.
So now, as we get to the last couple of things in the show itself, they showed a moment that always makes me cry every time I watch it. Every single time I had to do this, it makes me teary-eyed. And that's the Mr. Rogers 10 seconds think about somebody when he got his award. And I thought about my brother Max. I always do to this. I'm like, because we used to watch the Emmys together. And I'm glad they showed that moment. It was just kind of a cool moment where everybody was just kind of quiet, and for 10 seconds, you think about somebody you care about. I love his speech. Again, Fred Rogers was the bomb. He was just somebody who just, like, you got what you saw from him. I watched the documentary; it was great and everything. He literally was like a genuine person. And I just thought that was a great moment. They showed that. I'm glad they included that in the 15 memorable moments. And then, of course, it all led to the big award. And Walker and Lacretia both picked it. And it went to Best Drama, went to The Young and the Restless. And Gerry and Walker picked it. They both said they had a feeling. And I'm not surprised they got it. But Lacretia and Walker picked it. Gerry picked Days of Our Lives. I picked Bold and the Beautiful. It could have gotten, obviously. I think we all agreed it wasn't General Hospital. But all the others could have got it. But Young and the Restless, not surprised, right? Are we not surprised?
Yeah.
No.
And how do we feel about it?
I didn't think it was a great year for Young and the Restless, but I can tell you the stuff that they used with Neil Winter's funeral, which was a clip we saw over and over again. I said they did that so well, And again, it can boil down to 2 really, really good days, And I got to tell you, having seen, watch the Christmas episode again, and the idea of directing and stuff, which it won for, I'm like, it felt. I liked it, I enjoyed it, but it also felt a little tricky now when I saw it again in the context of the award show. Whereas Neil's funeral just looked so painfully, and when you realize everything that went down to it, and went into making it, I said, they deserved it.
Yeah. Go ahead, Walker.
For me, also, it's not just the funeral, but the fact that CBS and Victoria Rao were able to come together and to do something special. And then, not only that, and then they had them on the talk together. I was just like, that by itself for me was just like, the legacy of Neil and Drew for that whole week. So I'm definitely have no problems, and I'm happy for him for winning that.
Yeah, they definitely did a good job. Right? He got the send off he deserved. I think he really did, and I'm actually proud of the Bell family, CBS, Sony, all that they came together And even with the whole Winter's Week recently they did, the whole week of winter. I
That
thought
was amazing.
it was. No, I think it was a great. These were important characters on daytime television, period. I mean, Neil, the character of Neil, everybody knows how I feel about him, of course. I love Christoph. That character was very important for representation. It was just very important. And the Drusilla Neil storyline was very important also for representation, for Black love and just soap opera love. And I mean, it crossed so many things. I remember Michelle Stafford saying when Christoph got Neil's office, that he was talking to her about it, saying how exciting it was because I'm the first like Black person to have my own set on daytime, like a real set. And it wasn't a thug set. It wasn't a street scene. It was an office like that. We forget how important that little detail is. Not so little. It's very important. So I love that. I think they did a good job. That's my soapbox for now. But I just think it's very. We have to understand the Winters family was an integral part of the Y&R history. They had a lot of storyline.
And it just shows that woman needs to be on the show. And I'm wondering, maybe in this post everything we're going through and having a Winter's Week, and not only the Winter's Week, there was a lot of Neil and Drew this whole summer in these classic episodes. So to me, I'm like, I could see something where maybe we can. Well, it's going to sting having her come back now when she should have been back years ago. But I think she's needed.
I agree. Totally agree. I want to give a shout out really quick to our buddy Fido Xavier, because he's the directing team, General Hospital. I love Fido. We know Fido. We know Fido. And I want to give a shout out to him. I mean, it was good direction. I mean, those scenes were good. I mean, they were good. It was good direction for daytime.
Yeah. If I wasn't anti them, I think I said that they would have won for best directing, but I didn't want them to win shit. So
I know you didn't, but you did acknowledge that you
I did acknowledge that would have. Yeah.
It's a good episode. Jerry, how you feel about that?
Like I said, I mean, I thought that the Christmas episode was, really well done. But when I looked at, actually, I can tell you, some of the stuff I looked at is that I think in some ways, I'd almost rather reward some of the shows that do incredible directing scenes to the stuff that's organic, like with Neil's funeral, or when I've seen that scene, I haven't seen it when it originally aired, when Hope heard that her baby died, and Liam was holding her in the hospital room, and it just kind of like went dark, and they did a higher crane shot and the use of shadowing. I'm like, wow. If I had seen this ahead of time, I would have voted for that for best directing over the General Hospital show. Because I like when they could take something really organic as opposed to just giving the directing award for a special episode.
I agree with you. Oh, Quick, what do you think?
Yeah, it's interesting because we had picked the Fido for winning, and the Christmas episode was great. And like you say, sometimes all it takes is two great scenes, and that's kind of what General Hospital did smartly here. That I think Y&R did when they did the best show, and it's just like when you see stuff like that, I agree that these that have been consistent all year long should maybe see that recognition. But this is kind of the way it's done.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like. But it's always been like this.
Yeah.
When Jill Phelps were at GH, Bob Guza, it was always, we do a big sweeps event, and that's our Emmy material. Y&R, they always focus on an event or character, and that's their Emmy. Like, this isn't new. Like, it's never been, and it's never going to be based on the whole year.
Yeah. That's the shame. Jerry, we're going to say, Jerry? Because you know this.
I know. I mean, it's unfortunate. It's like, that they just focus on, and not just these event type things, but at least with like Neil's funeral, and it was natural. It was part of a real. I mean, General Hospital Christmas episode was like something that was lifted out. They could have just shown it out of context. I even think they actually did show it out of the consistent time frame of the show that week that it originally aired.
Yeah.
And so, it's unfortunate. It's like, hey, here's what we can do when we just kind of like break the rules and we're not really doing traditional soap opera, but to actually work and do traditional soap opera and do it incredibly well. I gotta tell you, I mean, Bold and Beautiful with that scene stuff did a lot of really great scenes with their storyline, their best storyline, which I think is the one they were most invested in.
Yeah. Well, I know they did the one great shot too, where they're on the top of the building in downtown Los Angeles, and they're finding out that Hope is alive. It's that Phoebe is. That whole directing shot of that was good too, because it's like they were on the roof and Ty got rid of Thomas, and they finally come together, and she falls to his arms, and whatever they used to film all that, it was like very circular. That was a good directing. That was really good. That was good use of just like outside, using something outside. You know, General Hospital goes outside, and it's like the parking lot or whatever. It's the side lot. This was like actual, like, they really showed Los Angeles, which I like. It's kind of like this big sweeping. I thought directing-wise, it was really good.
The top parking lot of the Grove.
Oh, that's right. Yes, that's right. Yeah, I like that because I love when they do B-roll and stuff. They show like these great sweeping shots of Los Angeles. Like, oh, you get the feeling you're in LA. Like, you really get the feeling you're there. And Bold People does good direction. I mean, the Bell family does good direction. Both shows are beautifully produced. I mean, whether you think about the acting or the storylines, they always look gorgeously filmed. And I've been, and as myself, I don't know how many, I'm sure all of us have been on the sets at some point. They're tiny sets. They're like these small little sets with lots of lights and things everywhere. And it's like, but you watch the show, the way that Young and the Restless Lady, they come up from flowers on the side and they show a room. Like, I think they do, like you said, Jared, I love them when they do regular directing, like just directing choices. I was tired. I mean, General Hospital did some stuff this year. I was like, are they using a handheld camera? Like, what are they doing? Like, they're trying to be innovative on some of the things that didn't work for me. Where Y&R and B&B always, just no matter what you think about them, they're beautifully filmed. I mean, the sets are good. I mean, the lighting's good. Everybody looks good. They do.
Even in the classics, you watch the classics and you're just like, oh my god, this show is like just lush and rich and just, yeah.
I was actually watching one last night, a clip of my buddy Sean. It was Deacon and Brooke, and Stephanie finds out she's pregnant with Hope. And just the way they shot it and the way they had them placed, and they were in this little tiny room, but it was like a stage play. The way it was just beautifully done, and all three of them had their parts. And when she grabbed Brooke, and she's like, "Come over here, you bitch!" and she like threw her on the bed and put her in to look at the mirror, and they show Stephanie behind her making Brooke look at the mirror, and you're a whore, and I was like, yes, I love it. But it was like beautifully done. It was beautifully done. The choices they made were very interesting, directing wise. That's kind of like, and blocking, and it was like, oh, okay, it's not just some regular, run the mill soap stuff. So I love that stuff.
I wonder if you can be that creative when you only have half an hour. When you say, "Oh, we only have one half an hour. We can do a bunch of these awesome looking scenes," as opposed to trying to like fill out a whole hour.
Yeah.
Or, however, I don't know whose horrible idea in the late '70s it was to make Another World an hour and a half.
I remember that. That was weird. That's a little too long.
Where ownership comes into play. When you own. And when you own your show and you don't have to answer to anyone, you're able to maybe have that freedom, whereas other shows don't have that.
Yeah, because I was like, I just CBS doesn't own the Bell Company. That's who owns all their shows. I know the other shows aren't that lucky, So that's why I'm like, they get to do the things they get to do. And that's why Bold and Beautiful is the #1 soap in the world. I mean, they get to sell it other places and stuff, and do all these special things they get to do and tinker with it. But the other shows don't have that luxury. That was our Daytime Emmys, and some last words. I'm just wondering, because Walker kind of brought this up a little bit. I already heard rumors that General House wants to come back in July, and maybe Young and the Restless too. People are kind of nervous about that. I mean, like, how do we? Are they just getting nervous? Are they jumping the gun? What do you think?
I think it may be a little bit too soon. When you see that all these places, just in terms of any type of business, okay, they've done it too soon, and now we have like suddenly resurgences in places like Texas, Arizona, Florida. But I think they also realize that the soap opera audience is expects a certain consistency. And if they're not getting everything day to day, that if they don't come back till like September, I don't know if the people are just going to have, I've broken my soap habits. I'm not going to get back into it. I'd rather, just, it's like any type of habit. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to go back to it.
And that's just what I'll say is like, they're smart enough to know it may be worth a slight risk to just get it going. And I hate to be the one to say that but again, I'm sure they'll make it a personal choice if people don't want to. I mean, it is what it is, but yeah, I mean, they're already struggling. I will say, like, I've been trying to make sure I watch General Hospital and stuff just to make sure that I keep the habit. But a lot of people aren't going to do that or can't do that. And, as someone who's been in Texas and I do see the spike, but just wear a mask, people, do whatever. And we've got to get back to work or we're going to have a lot bigger problems on our hand. I mean, these shows employ a lot of people, not just the actors. We don't want anybody's job lost, and because that's a whole nother thing.
Walker, what do you think? Walker, what do you think?
I don't think it's too soon. I think that they are doing everything that they can do to be safe. B&B, they just finished their first week. I think you just follow the safety protocols. The reason the numbers are up is because people aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. I mean, it's simple. It's like social distance, wear your mask. It's not.
Where's your mask?
Yeah, and they're doing.
I love it.
They're doing their testing. I think it's fine. Yeah, YNR. I think they said they're looking at July 6th.
Yeah.
And then mid-May for GH.
I'm gonna be the naysayer. I think it's too soon. I think we don't know this virus, and I think it's too soon. But I think they should start getting creative. I think maybe try some other ways to get some new episodes out. That's kind of how I feel about that, and maybe try out some offering, and see if maybe that'll help a little bit as we start to figure this out. I don't know. I think a lot of other mediums are being more inventive and trying to get stuff out there. I think maybe it's time for the soaps to look at different ways to get them out there. I don't know. I mean, I just think I'm afraid for folks. In California, it's going up, and like I said, and as Walker, everybody said, I'm seeing people not wearing masks and not doing what they want to do. And now that this virus is affecting younger people now even more, and it's actually affecting everybody differently. Like you can get blood clots and those other things. So it's a whole different thing. DL Hughley just collapsed, on stage. He didn't have any other symptoms. So it's like this virus, we don't know what it is. It makes me nervous. I don't know what it is, and I'm like, I'm not going back to Hollywood anytime soon. I'll be at home in Inglewood, talking on Zoom. That's what I'll be doing for a while until we get a little more handle on what's going on. That's just me. That's how I am. And I'm old, so I don't want anything happening. So, but I do wish them all the best. I do wish them, everyone, because they're our friends. I wish them the best of luck.
Yeah.
I hope that nothing happens to them when they're doing it. We want our soaps, and I agree with Gerry and you guys that this is a habit, and after a while, you can lose a habit. You can come out of a habit. Do something for a long time, and you create a new habit of not watching. Oh, what's that going to do? What is that going to do? I'm just curious. I feel like each set of fans are a different kind of loyal, so I'm really curious to see how this continues. I mean, it's just, yeah. We're in unprecedented times. So, I mean, we've never been here before. I mean, this isn't just a writer's strike. This is something way different than that.
Yeah.
It's way different. Well, thank you guys. Thank you guys. We did this again. It was so much fun. I'm so glad we did. I'm glad everybody at home enjoyed our last episode. If you enjoyed this one, this is our post-Daytime Emmy recap here on JLJ Media. I'll let everybody tell where they're at, where they're from. Gerry, where can they find you if they want to find you?
You mean besides my house?
Yes, exactly. Give your address. That's fine.
Yeah, Facebook. And if you want to take some classes with me, I'm going to be at Bunker Hill Community College this fall, teaching classes. But, yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Also, we're sitting next to you. I know who you are. No, I'm good. Like, go away from me. But he's Gerry Waggett. Like I said, I have his books. I was going to pull them out, but his books from a long time ago. Lacretia Lyon, do what you do best. Tell us where we can find you.
Well, since I'm Lacretia Lyon, guys, you can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet since there is only one.
Only one, bitches, one. And my buddy. Okay, I'm gonna say it for him. You can find him at Walker R. It's like several R's after his name on all social media platforms.
There we go. Thank you.
I did it for you because you're my friend. And you can follow
because,
me.
you know.
I love you, Walker R. I love you. You know that. You know I do. I do immensely. All of you guys. I'm James Lott Jr. You can find me everywhere at James Lott Jr. That's not even joking. All over the place.
Always working.
Always working, folks. I'm like I got things, irons in the fire. My tentacles everywhere. I got stuff going on. Just follow me and hold on. Let me tell you that. And follow JLJ Media if you're so kind. Everywhere you find it. I have all kinds of shows there. And these people are on many of my shows. They're in these boxes. They're on many of my shows. And I want to thank everybody and congratulations to all the winners. Congratulations to all the nominees. Yes. And a shout out to everyone who is sitting at home waiting to get back to their lives again, because I know it's tough. Yes, wear a mask, folks. I don't care what you think. Wear a mask. Wash those hands. Wash your legs. Wash whatever. Wash everything. And yes, as always, Black Lives Matter.